Hello, friends. Welcome to this new episode of the Indian Military Anecdotes brought to you by Viva Life Skills trainers and consultants. So, this time around, we have with us Colonel Mukund Mohan Sharma of the Jammu and Kashmir Rifles, coming back as the veteran of the show. And just to remind you, he's put in about more than 2 decades of service in the army, and of which a substantial amount of time he has spent on the line of control. So you can call him the line of control expert. And if you recollect, his previous 2 episodes were based on operations that were held on the line of control. So let's see what he's got today for us. So welcome, Colonel M.M. Sharma.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Namaskar. Pleasure to have you again. In the past, people have really relished your episodes.
Today, I am going to talk about my experiences as a young officer and then a middle piece officer with a particular type of weapon system called the grenade. So other people who may not be so familiar, it is an explosive device. It operates in 2 distinct categories. That is, one is hand grenade and one is a rifle grenade. I'm talking of the infantry one and not the rocket propelled grenades, which are, as we call, RPG. I'm not talking of that.
Right.
Which is an anti-tank weapon, as you would know. I'm talking of a hand grenade, which is an anti-personnel, and also rifle grenade, which is also anti-personnel.
Anti-personnel, yes.
So, for the uninitiated, I may like just to mention this much. It normally fits into the fist of a man, the hand grenade that is, and the explosive content in is initiated by pulling out firstly the key, and then the striker operation will happen when you let the go from your hand. So in the case of hand grenade, the time interval between the fuse initiation and the explosion of the grenade is 4 seconds. And 4 seconds is, if you ask me, it's a lifetime also. It can be if you are in a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
Or it can happen in a flash.
Correct.
And the other one which I said, rifle grenade, which enables an infantryman to propel the grenade to a larger distance, 150, 200 meters. It has got a fuse which takes care of the time of flight and allows the grenade to explode 7 minutes after the fuse initiation. 7 seconds, my mistake. 7 seconds.
Yeah, 7 seconds.
7 seconds. So the first, to make it sort of chronological in a way, that happened when I was a young captain. We were doing field firing, and that day we were firing rifle grenades. And my commanding officer, a veteran, grizzled old veteran who knew his beans in and out, there's just no question about that.
Yeah.
He had put the firers in 4 pits. Because the rifle grenade requires a small pit from which you can launch the grenade. As luck would have it, one of the firers who was going to fire, his reach of the arm was not, he was a short guy. So automatically the length of the arm, wrist, was not that much as a taller person's would have been.
Right.
And what it requires is, before the initiation of the rifle grenade, because the grenade is launched with a cartridge which is placed inside a rifle, the firer has to reach and take out the safety key.
Right.
And then the trigger or the striker is held in position by a plastic ring.
Right.
I'm sure you have been through all this.
Yeah.
So what happens, the moment the man takes out the key, everyone is alert. Hereafter the grenade can be very shortly. It just requires that safety ring, plastic ring, to be removed, and then the striker will get in action and 7 seconds will start.
Correct.
So in our case, because this particular firer, and firing had been going on before that and after that, and there were 2 young officers, one like me looking after 2 pits, 2 firers, and myself looking after 2, and the CO was seated on a easy chair hardly 5 meters behind us. I mean, he was overseeing everything. So we were firing and the normal drill was proceeding. One person who came right under my eye, so to speak, because I was looking after the pits on the right, two pits on the right. Of course, like I said, a JC or NCO instructor was there with each firer.
Right.
So this person, you could make out from his body language that he was slightly nervous. Possibly he had fired it once, maybe in the regimental center,
Right.
not thereafter. Almost a raw recruit, you can put it that way. Slightly more than a raw recruit, trained soldier, of course, now.
Correct.
So this gentleman, he was explained the drill again. Please, you will have to reach out to the end of the rifle barrel where the rifle grenade is resting,
Yeah.
move the safety pin, and then you are ready to fire. The moment you press the trigger on the rifle, the cartridge will initiate and then the rifle grenade will be propelled.
Yeah.
And by property of inertia, the plastic ring which is holding the striker will also fall off.
Correct.
And then the grenade will be launched because of the range given by the cartridge inside the rifle. And after, depending on how many pins to let the gases escape or not escape, it will go 100, 150 meters, something like that.
Correct.
That was again explained to each person when he would commence it.
Right.
Now this boy is very nervous. You can make out. And his nervousness is making us also a bit shaky.
Yeah, naturally.
Because this is a dangerous weapon.
Yeah,
Now, what he does, we have explained it to him. Samajh gaya, samajh gaya. So we tell him, okay, now you reach out, remove the pin with your hand. And so far so good. The ring is in place because he has not fired the touched the trigger, and the ring is in place and he's holding the striker together. As luck would have it, because his arm length, like I told you, was less, after having removed the safety key or the ring, while getting his hand down, he happened to move the plastic ring also downwards.
Oh my God.
And now what has happened is that the rifle grenades chal, as you call it, the movements or the motion, what basically it means that the striker action is
Mechanism is started.
started. So now what we require is someone with a presence of mind, either the NCO or the JCO or myself. So I am not 2 feet away. The NCO is shoulder to shoulder with the firer.
Yeah.
All of us realize that now the rifle grenade is live because the ring has been taken and we could see plunger. It has got the spring beneath. The spring has activated, and now the rifle grenade is live.
Yeah.
So we look at each other for half a second maybe, and the next thing we know, everyone has dived for cover.
Oh my.
There's no cover there actually because we are all lying on flat ground. And the place where the pit has been prepared from where you could place the rifle.
Yeah.
That is the only shallow ground, but that is the most dangerous place because now the rifle grenade, nobody has had the courage or whatever to press the trigger and let the grenade escape and go maybe 100 meters away. Everyone has got very, very scared and just jumped out of the pit. Those two boys who were in the pit, the NCO and this firer, and a person like me who was say maybe a foot behind, they've all gone to ground and hoping for the best. And I could hear, even today I can hear the sound of my CO yelling a curse and his chair getting knocked out by himself because he is now also diving for cover.
My God.
And now, like I said, 7 seconds can be an eternity. I can see the smoke coming out of the rifle grenade. Now 7 seconds have already started because 1 second or whatever, the plunger has activated after the plastic ring has been removed, and now it is a matter of time before the explosion takes place. And we are all worried. They are all Jawan's lives, our lives, everybody's lives are equally valuable, and we are now worried what the hell will happen.
Yeah.
So, longest 7 seconds of my life. You can imagine.
Must be. I can imagine how terrible it must have been.
After some time, we hear the bang. The rifle grenade had exploded. Now we are all wondering, after the bang, will we hear anyone moaning in pain? Mar gaya, something like that. But luckily, it is God's grace.
Nothing like that happened.
Nothing like that happened. We just got up, looked at each other, smiled sheepishly. तो ठीक है, मैं ठीक हूँ, सीओ साहब ठीक है, फायरर ठीक है, सब कुछ ठीक है, all is well,
Ah,
nobody has got injured, and only damage what has happened is the grenades fragments
yeah,
that
shrapnel.
the tube which we fit into the rifle barrel.
Yeah,
The tube is gone for a 6. I mean, it cannot be
yeah,
recognized as a
yeah,
tube. It's
correct.
like a
Naturally.
bud, if you can imagine,
Yeah,
like a bud which blooms. The
correct.
tube has bloomed, and
Mm,
that tube obviously would have not used that again. But still, this was the first incident in a series of incidents which happened over a long period. But this was just, it told me how rifle grenades can be very, very dangerous, and
yeah,
also hand grenades.
absolutely.
That
This
is
is
just providence.
absolute providence, God's grace, absolute God's grace.
Okay, now I will narrate this incident happened when I was not on the spot. This is only what I have been narrated by my senior officer who was on the spot.
Right,
So, where the rifle, this now all three incidents are related to hand grenades.
right.
So now, hand grenade, the drill is that after removing the ring with the hand, the firer stands like this, akimbo, with the grenade in one, the throwing hand,
Yeah,
pin like that, and on the word of command, throw, he throws the grenade, and then the plunger is operational, and then the fuse gets impacted, and the rifle grenade has 4 seconds in which to
yeah.
explode. So everyone is in this position, both the arms at length, opposite sides, of course. The pin is now, you can imagine, in one of the fingers only.
Yeah,
It's everyone will tell you it's not like in the movies, everyone removing the pin with their teeth. It's not done. That is okay for heroics.
yeah,
Real life, military, the pin is removed aram se with
yeah.
the hand, and then you stand like this, and everyone, once you're ready to throw, you throw on a command. So in this case, where the grenades were being thrown happened to be at least 20 feet below the level of the firing.
Where
It was a slight, I will not say a cliff
depression, some kind of a depression.
depression, at least 20 feet below. So we thought that makes us comparatively safer because the grenade
Yeah,
will land, and since the forward motion has taken the grenade away from you,
correct.
most of the splinters will go in the forward direction.
Forward direction.
That is what we fondly believed, or my senior officer who was conducting the firing believed. And as luck would have it, he had again a shorter person who was again a newbie throwing the grenade. So whenever the officer would tell, now in this incident, he is himself in the pit with this Jawan, with this rifleman of ours. So when he gave the command throw, the teaching is, even for the rifle grenade and the hand grenade, you see where the grenade has landed. So in war or in operations, you would like to see the grenade landing and where you intend the splinters to take effect. That has been achieved on. And
Right.
after you see where it has landed, that will take maybe 2 seconds. Next, you duck down to safety so that the splinters don't come onto you.
Right.
So the first drill is after you throw, you see where the grenade has landed, then you duck.
Right.
And because it's now a drill and it's being done in the field firing range, the officer is controlling everything. In this case, he has said ready, in which incident this man has taken out the grenade, and he's assumed the position for throw, and he says throw. He said throw. And then, as per the drill, he as well as the firer took that 1 second to see where the grenade has landed. And then he's given the word of command down.
Right.
Now there's a split second in the reaction time of this new Jawan. He has not come down along with the officer who's
Gone down, but he has not.
gone down.
But he didn't come down.
He didn't go down. So this guy, again, because after all, you're responsible for whatever reason. Why is he frozen in that position or he's reacting?
Why did he go down? Yeah.
He got up himself half and put his hand on the head of the helmet. The boy was wearing a helmet and pushed him down physically.
Right.
And he pushed him down physically, and then the grenade
Burst.
during this, the grenade has burst. Now, during this means nobody realizes that the grenade has burst at that precise moment when this guy has pushed his head down.
Was being pushed down.
The hand on the helmet.
Right.
Nobody realized it.
Oh.
Then explosion has occurred, and This boy is told, okay, next boy to come in. He is not complaining of any pain. He is not complaining of anything.
Hmm.
As he moved out, the officer realized that this guy is having a trickle of blood just above the ear.
Okay.
And that man is not complaining of anything. Not even कि
Huh?
मेरे को कुछ हो गया. So he assumed
Yeah.
that I have forcefully pressed his helmet on his
Maybe
head,
his helmet would have hurt him.
and the helmet has got that webbing. You realize to
Yeah.
me you
Yeah.
can
Probably
camouflage
that
it.
has hurt him.
So that is a plastic material. So it's quite sharp if you can, you get paper cuts as you know.
Yeah.
So this thing might have hurt his earlobe,
Yes.
or not lobe is below the upper part of the
Above
ear,
the
and caused it to have a slight cut. So he says, कोई बात नहीं, पीछे डॉक्टर साहब बैठे. Doctor is sitting 50 yards away.
Hmm.
He's got his ambulance, he's got
Yeah.
everybody there, and his nursing assistant. And so this gentleman is escorted by NCO, because in case he's feeling slightly shaky, you just क्या लगा है पता नहीं.
Yeah. Because of yeah.
Webbing or whatever. So the doctor takes a look at him. He finds nothing suspicious. He cleans it wherever he finds that the blood has come out from, and he says, "Just sit with me over here in the. It's not a okay RAP type, regimental aid post.
A regimental aid post.
It's not an MI room because we are out on the field.
Correct.
So the doctor is there under a tree, and he's done all the thing, and so the doctor kept him with him. And I think that saved this man's life. The man's life was saved. Now you say, what is the saving? What was the damage?
What exactly happened? Yeah.
So what? This guy kept the Jawan with him, made him sit there, and the doctor's intuition was sparked when after some time, this Jawan vomited. Now, for everybody, it's almost a learning that if you vomit and something has hit your head, be
That's
very, very
something
careful
serious.
with this. Head injury and vomiting are very closely connected, is what I learned from that day.
Correct.
So he said, okay, isko leta do, make him lie on the stretcher, and he'll accompany me to the battalion base after we finish the firing in the evening. Now that's all. This guy is not complaining. He's not been given any painkiller. Nothing. Of course, some minor band-aid or something must have been applied there. How are you feeling? I'm fine. Absolutely fine. He's talking, he's responding to everything. And in the evening, when the firing was over, we reached the cantonment. As ample precaution, the doctor said, let's go to the hospital. And he must have told his colleagues, this is what has happened. Just keep him under observation. And they did that. 1 day passed, 2 days passed, 3 days passed. Now they're wondering, I think it's time for this guy to discharge. He's been absolutely normal for 3 days. And every day, as per the unit drill, one of his company NCOs would go look him up, maybe someday with a packet of fruit, something with some mithai, how is this boy? Spend half an hour with him and come out.
Yeah.
And give the report to the company commander. मैं फलाने को मिला था, फलाना आज ठीक है, या आज उसका ये कर रहे हैं, या आज उसका वो कर रहे हैं. That report has come, and
Correct. Update.
on the 4th day, this boy complains of severe headache. 4th day, mind you.
Mm-hmm.
Severe headache.
Mm-hmm.
And that day, the hospital, that day, not earlier, decides to take an X-ray of his head.
Mm-hmm.
And then they spot a splinter, maybe 2-3 mm, I don't even know, less than an inch, inches 2.54 centimeters, as you know.
Right.
So just millimeters that they can get where he had bled.
Oh.
So that thing, that splinter, after 3 or 4 days, has now started acting on the gray matter, brain.
Right.
And that is why he's suffering intense pain.
Right.
Now, as you all know, brain does not have any sensational which gives you cause to feel pain. Like I believe brain surgery is painless. The only problem is when you have to cut the skull and all that. That is, or when the brain itself swells and then goes against the skull, the bone. That is a pain. Otherwise, brain itself has got no sensation of pain. Is what I have been given to understand.
Right.
So that means what would have been happened? Some swelling would have taken place inside the brain because of the splinter. And that has now started hurting very badly.
Right.
That time it was decided we need to evacuate this boy to the command hospital.
Hmm.
He was, and they operated upon him, removed the splinter, and when he came back after his sick leave, he was very proudly displaying itna sa splinters
Oh,
to all his colleagues. So, and everyone who said, how did this happen? 4 days. And the hospital is telling that you guys are trying to cover up a grenade blast.
oh,
But the doctor now, luckily for us, a doctor was on the spot almost
yeah.
on the
So,
sequence of the
that,
incident.
yeah, yeah.
This is kya baat kar rahe ho? This guy has been under my care for the first thing, and after the day he has come to the hospital, he's laying there for 3 days. He's not complained of anything.
Correct.
So it is not a cover up. Please don't.
Surprising, yeah.
Anyway, that was this
Yeah,
first
such a
and
tiny
great
thing,
incident.
it lost itself in his head.
And you can imagine the entry is
Yeah.
so that you can think it could be a cut because of the webbing. There is no visible wound if you understand what
Yeah,
I'm saying.
yeah, yeah.
Splinter is so tiny
Yes.
that the doctor who checked him on the spot could not find a
Could not
big,
detect
could not
the
detect a
thing.
big wound.
Right,
That
right,
is one.
right.
That was our unit. So the presiding officer from the other unit came and did the needful. And it was accident. It's an accident in field firing. So it was that. No hiding, no cover up, nothing.
So thank you once again
Thank
for
you.
being on our show. Thank you very much and all the very best.